Hi everyone, I'm Lisa and I'm from the Pretty Sweaty Stuff. Thank you so much for joining me for this quick fiery flow. So we'll start in a nice comfortable seated position, closing down the eyes and sitting really nice and tall. Relaxing your whole body here. Soften into all your joints, soften into all your muscles. And then let's begin to deepen into the breath. Taking a big breath in and a nice easy exhale through the nose. Maybe starting that Ujjayi breath, up to you. Taking a big breath in and then exhale through the nose. When you're ready, extend the arms out in front of you and just flicker the fingers super fast. So what we're doing here is warming up into the forearms and into the wrists. Go faster, flick the fingers. You might find that you fatigue quite quickly here, but just keep going. Finding length along the arms and flicker the fingers. So we'll go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Then come to bring the back of the hands together, fingertips facing down, and then create semicircles here. So now we're just stretching into the front bit of the wrist. Just go one way and then go the other. Make sure that you don't lose that connection. Interlace your fingers, send the palms forwards and up, create an arch in the spine. And then as you exhale, round it in, bring the hands all the way down, chin towards the chest. So think about being in that cat-cow and you're inviting the arms along for the ride. So just stretching into the palms now as well. Slowly release and we'll meet on our hands and knees, tabletop position. And then grounding through the knuckles, you're just going to lower and lift the palms again. And you can hit pause if you need a little bit more time here. So we're just strengthening back up into the wrists again and into the forearms. And then we'll turn the back of the hands towards the ground, fingertips towards you, and rock forwards and backwards. So now we're just stretching into the tops of the wrists. And just reset the hands here, so fingertips facing forwards again. Coming for a few rounds of cat-cow or any other spinal movement that feels good for you. Making sure that the inner palm stays grounded. And allow this to feel really nice in the back and in the belly. Up to you if you want the toes tucked or untucked. And coming to a nice neutral spine, scooch the knees behind the hips, coming for a modified plank pose. Be super strong here, so make sure that the chest and the hips are roughly in line. Grounding into the right knuckles, reach your left arm forwards, one arm plank pose. Checking with the hips that they're both facing forwards. Then sweep the left arm by your side. Inhale, reach your left arm forwards, and as you exhale, sweep it by your side. One final time, inhale, reach forwards, and as you exhale, reach the arm by your side. Reset in your plank pose, grounding through the left knuckles, reach your right arm forwards. Inhaling, and as you exhale, reach your right arm to your side. Inhale forwards, and as you exhale, sweep it by your sides. Really reach through the fingertips as you inhale, reach your right arm forward, and as you exhale, sweep it by your side. Then bringing the hand to the ground, downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back. Once you arrive here, just move around however feels good for you. And remember, in your downward facing dog, you want to make sure that the inner palms are grounded here. And then when you feel ready to, if you're not already, we'll find a bit of stillness here. So if there's a lot of tension in the hamstrings today, just make sure you bend the knees to keep the spine nice and long. Inhale, look at it in front of you, slowly walk to the top of the mat, folding forwards. Really rolling the chin towards the chest, maybe bending a lot into the legs. Then press down the legs, the inhale reaches you all the way up. And as you exhale, hands together, heart center. Press down the feet. Take a big inhale, sweep the arms nice and high. And as you exhale, fold forwards. Hands on top of the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, pull the chest through. And as you exhale, bend into the knees. Hands find the mat. Step back, plank pose. We'll bring the knees to the ground for this one. As you shift it forwards, lower halfway down. And then all the way to the ground. Point 10 toes. Inhale, just peel the chest up, baby back bend. Press through the tops of the feet. And as you exhale, quick seat to the heels. And then lift it up, downward facing dog. Then inhale, look at the front of you. Slowly walk to the top of the mat, folding forwards. Press down the legs. Big inhale lifts you all the way up. Reach the arms high. And as you exhale, fold all the way back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Pull the chest through. And as you exhale, step back to your plank pose. Whatever that may look like for you today. Shift it forwards. Squeeze the elbows in. Lower halfway down. Untuck the toes. Inhale, finds your back bend. And as you exhale, use your lower belly to lift you back up, downward facing dog. We'll move through that warm up one more time. So shift the gaze out in front of you, slowly step, jump, float to the top of the mat, folding forwards. Press down the legs, inhale lifts you all the way up, reach the arms high. And as you exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, plank pose, shift it forwards, wrap the elbows in, lower halfway down. Untuck the toes, inhale finds your back bend, and as you exhale, downward facing dog. So we're going to repeat what we did in our modified plank pose by sweeping one arm forwards, and we're going to do it from a downward dog. So inhale, roll forward, find your plank pose, reach your right arm forwards. Feel free to drop the knees to the ground. Keep the right hip down, and as you exhale, lift it back up, one arm downward dog. Then inhale, roll forward, reach your right arm forwards. And as you exhale, one arm downward dog. Right arm by your side. Inhale, sweep forward. Again, feel free to lower the knees. This time as you exhale, downward facing dog. Two hands find the ground. Inhale, reach your right leg high. Maybe roll around the hips. And as you exhale, step your right foot forward between the hands. Find a nice wide base. Help with your stability. Then rise up, high lunge, arms towards the ceiling. Just checking in that front knee is stacked on top of the ankle. And it's facing forwards. Bring the hands together at heart center, then bow down halfway. Rising high in the left toes and keep sending the chest forward. When you find your balance, lift your back leg up, warrior 3. And be super strong in the back here. Feel free to lower the fingertips to the ground at any time. Take a big inhale through the nose, really find your stability here. And as you exhale, bring the left knee in towards the chest. Round into a tiny ball. Inhale, release your left leg long. And as you exhale, crunch it in. And again, just like that, inhale, release your left leg long. Stay strong. And as you exhale, left knee in towards the chest. And then inhale, release your left leg long. And start to bend into your right leg. Maybe squat down a little bit lower if you've got more space. And then when you're ready, we're going to step it into a goddess pose. So step your left foot back behind you. Pivot 10 toes slightly outwards. Squatting as comfortably low as you can. Reach the arms high. Lowering the heels up and down. Lifting up, down, 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 up, down. Then press down the legs. Big inhale reaches you all the way up. And as you exhale, turn towards the front of the mat, lower lunge. And then step it into a side plank on the left hand. As you find your side plank, take whatever variation feels good for you right now. So you can always lower the bottom knee to the ground. Maybe stagger the feet or stack the feet. Whatever catches your balance, be strong, and we'll lift your top leg high, and then we'll do tiny pulses of that top leg. So we'll go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering the right hand to the mat, one leg plank pose. Feel free to drop the left knee to the ground as you lower halfway down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squeeze the elbows in, lower halfway down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, lift. And as you exhale, cross your right ankle on top of the left ankle. Then pivot 10 toes towards the left. So the hips and the legs are facing the left and the chest is facing forwards. Lowering down onto the forearms, we're going to work the right oblique, tiny pulses of the hips. So we'll go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, belly in, 2, 1. Staying here for a couple of breaths, fire up into the right oblique. Then lowering the hands to the ground, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Maybe take a quick child's pose if that feels better. When you're ready, inhale, roll forward, find your plank pose. And as you exhale, up and back, downward facing dog. And again, inhale, roll forward, plank pose. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. One last time, inhale, ripple forwards, draw the belly in. And as you exhale, up and back, downward facing dog. Coming back to those one arm plank pose, so feel free to lower the knees down at any time. As you inhale, roll forward, reach your left arm forward, ground through the right hand, and as you exhale, one arm downward dog, left arm by your side. Inhale, roll forward, reach your left arm forwards, left hip down, and as you exhale, one arm downward dog. And again, inhale, roll forward, left arm shoots forward. And as you exhale, one arm downward dog. And then release the left hand down. Inhale, reach your left leg high, maybe roll around the hips. And as you exhale, step your left foot forward. Find your base, rise up, high lunge. Just check in with your front knee. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Breathe. As you bring the hands together at heart center and bow down halfway. Keep reaching the head forwards, lean forwards. Then when you're ready, float your back leg up, warrior 3. Any variation that feels good for you. Stay nice and strong in your left leg as you take a big inhale. And as you exhale, right knee in towards the chest. Draw the belly in. Inhale, release your right leg long. And as you exhale, crunch it in. Nice and strong. And again, inhale, release. And as you exhale, right knee in towards the chest. Inhale, release your right leg long. And we'll begin to bend into your left leg, fire up into the outer glute. Then keep bending into your left leg nice and strong. And we'll step and spin your right foot behind you, goddess pose or horse stance. Slightly angle the toes outwards, making sure that the knees and the toes are in the same direction. Reach the arms high. And we're going to pulse the hips up and down here. So press down through the big toes. We'll go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press down the legs big and now stretches you all the way up. Reach the arms high. And as you exhale, release the hands towards the top of the mat, lower lunge. And then step it into your side plank onto the right hand. Take whatever variation of a side plank that feels good for you. Keep pressing into the right hand, lift up from the right wrist, then lift your left leg high, and then we'll do tiny pulses of the left leg here. So go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering the left hand to the ground, one leg plank pose. Feel free to lower the right knee at any time. Take a big inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower halfway down, elbows in. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, lift. And as you exhale, cross your left ankle on top of the right ankle. Pivot 10 toes towards the right. So open up the hips towards the right and keep the shoulders facing forwards. Working the left oblique now. Lowering down onto the forearms. Tiny pulses of the left hip up and down. So we'll go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. take a pause here, breathe. And then slowly push it back into a plank pose and then downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward, find your plank pose, and as you exhale, up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forwards, exhale, downward dog. One final time, inhale, ripple forward, plank pose, and as you exhale, up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your right leg high, and as you exhale, slide your right shin forwards, pigeon pose. Scoot your left leg long behind your left hip, and maybe stay nice and tall here. So feel free to use any props, such as cushions or blocks underneath the hands, or maybe underneath that right hip. If it feels good, maybe you'd like to begin to fold forward. Just relaxing in here, keeping the breath nice and soft. When you're ready, slowly lift all the way up, ground into your right hand, and spin that back foot down. Pressing into that right hand and that left foot, you're going to lift it into a revolved side plank. Bringing that right knee towards that right arm, keep the body open towards the left. Maybe stay here, or if you like, tap that right shin to the ground. Then crossing the right ankle on top of the left thigh, figure 4 in the legs. Bring the seat to the heels, nice side stretch. Maybe bring the left fingertips to the ground. And then stepping back into a downward facing dog. Other side. Inhale, reach your left leg high, and as you exhale, slide your left shin forwards. Scoot your right leg long behind your right hip, pigeon pose. And do whatever you need to do here to stay comfortable, to be easy, and to keep breathing. Coming all the way up, we'll ground into that left hand and spin that back foot down so it's roughly in line with each other. Open yourself up towards the right, lifting up, revolved side plank, tucking that left knee in towards that left arm. Then crossing your left ankle on top of the right thigh, figure 4 in the legs, bringing the seat to the heels, and maybe bringing the right fingertips to the ground. Spreading into the left ribs. Then release your right hand to the ground, left foot to the mat, downward dog. Lowering the right shin, the right hand, and the left foot to the ground. Rolling the body open towards the left. Modified side plank. Maybe bringing that left hand behind the head if you want to create a gentle arch. Other side, so left hand, left shin, right foot finds the ground. Maybe bring that right hand behind the head. Roll the chest open towards the ceiling if you want to create a gentle back bend. And then we'll come to lower all the way down. Swing the legs out in front of you. Cross your right foot over that left leg, making sure that right big toe stays grounded. So find your base here, then placing your right fingertips behind you, left hand on top of the right knee, sitting nice and tall. You can stay here if you like. You can cross your left elbow to the outside of that right knee and maybe twist a little bit deeper on the exhale. Other side, so stretch your right leg long, cross your left foot over, placing the left fingertips behind you. Maybe bring your right hand on top of that left knee, or you can bring the elbow. Take a big inhale, find your length, and as you exhale, gentle twist. Coming through center, stretch both legs out in front of you, sit nice and tall. You can stay here, maybe fold forward. If it doesn't feel good, maybe try keeping the knees super bent, and that way you can ease out of the lower back. Coming all the way up, we'll come into a boat pose, whatever variation, so maybe heels slightly out in front of you, fingertips behind you, shins up, arms by your sides, maybe legs are extended. Draw the belly in, and then we'll slowly lower all the way to the ground, lying all the way down. Once you arrive here, just hug the knees in, rock side to side. And maybe create some circles around in the lower back, rock side to side, forwards and backwards. Just massaging into the sacrum area. Squeezing the knees in towards the armpits, separate the feet nice and wide. You can stay here if you like, grab hold of whatever you can while bringing the soles of the feet towards the ceiling. Happy baby. Maybe grab onto the feet, the toes, the ankles, shins. Keep the lower back grounded. Hugging the knees in, And then release your right leg long. And then bringing the left knee over towards the right. Spinal twist. Allowing the arms to fall wherever feels comfortable. Coming through center, hug this left knee in. And then when you're ready, release it long, hug the right knee in. Take a big inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, gentle twist. Maybe this time round, begin to close down the eyes. Coming back to center, squeeze the knees in one last time. Take a big inhale through the nose, really feel it all the way to the top. And then take a big sigh out. When you're ready, release the legs out in front of you, arms by your sides, palm faces up, eyes closed. Final pose. When you're ready to move on, begin to roll onto the right side. And then just take your time, coming all the way up or meet in a comfortable seated position, sitting really nice and tall. Keeping the eyes closed and allow the hands to fall wherever feels comfortable. And just softening back in here. Release any effort, coming back to that natural breath. Taking a big inhale through the nose, really feel it all the way to the top. And a big sigh out. Thank you so much for joining me. With love and gratitude, namaste.